Right, everybody, we're about to get going. I know it's a little late tonight. The main reason is that with time difference with the guest that I've got on, and he's from Canada. I come across Geoff a long, long time ago due to the fact of his system that he's created in Lead Skimmer. For my team, we're using it in the past, and they've got quite a lot of good benefits from the system. But at the time, I was using MLSP, and I didn't really want to jump from system to system. I've been watching Geoff for a while now, and I actually did listen to the home study course on No Excuses. So I understand how Geoff does his marketing, how he likes to build his lists, and that he's built a massive empire around himself in the last few years. So I want to get Geoff on to explain what it's all about, that the fact that you need to work hard to get the results that you want to do. You have to do the extra thing, go the extra mile, and become the extra person. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Geoff to the call and let Geoff tell you more about himself. Are you there, Geoff?
Hey, Mike. I am here. How you doing?
Awesome. I'm awesome. How are you today?
Excellent. Pretty good. Pretty good.
It's nice and early over there in Canada, isn't it?
It is nice. It is nice, yeah.
Right. So we'll get the questions moving. I know because we're a little late and we'll push the time. Sure. Tell us more about yourself, Geoff, and how you get yourself to be where you are today.
Sure. Well, I've like you said before, I've been in this business for about 12 years as well. So as you know, that's about 1,000 years on the internet. And by this business, I'm talking about internet marketing and network marketing as well. But I'll try to keep this fairly short. But my background really, before all this internet stuff, I was a musician, a working musician, and I spent my time traveling across Canada, playing in rock and roll bands and doing that sort of lifestyle. And if anyone knows how big Canada is, you know that's a long way to drive. So I was having a lot of fun, but really I was just broke all the time, and I had jobs here and there. And all that kind of changed when I got into computers. And myself, most of the time when I'm really interested in something, I basically dive in head first and just go for it 110%, right? So I went to school for computers, got all these certifications and Microsoft certifications and stuff. Went out and got into the corporate world, got my standard cubicle job, did that successfully for a while, working my way into management, etc. But since I was a kid, I've always had the entrepreneur bug, right? Which is probably the same for most of the people on this call. I've always wanted to have my own business, and I've always wanted to be able to support myself with my own business, support my family. And for some reason, it was a really strong desire that I always had. I don't know why, but I always had that sort of inner desire to do it all myself, right? So I guess my natural progression at the time, being into computers and being entrepreneurial, was to kind of find out how to make money with my computer. So I went to the internet naturally, typed in, hey, how do I make money with my computer? And as a lot of people do, I just kind of messed around with internet marketing for a while and just kind of, felt my way around, got my feet wet in a few things. And keep in mind, this is all before Facebook, before YouTube, before any kind of social media, before all that stuff. So all the communication really was just strictly through email and things like that. But I guess to skip ahead, what I realized was that there were a lot of people out there that were in the same boat as I was, right, which was not really seeing any sort of success on our own. We're just kind of jumping from this to that and, not really seeing anything exciting happen. And what I found was that with communicating with people, I found that most people, although most people don't like being told what to do, they do want to be led. They are looking for leadership. So around this time, I kind of took on sort of a leadership role on my own and started bringing people together on the internet just through email, people that wanted to be part of a team and to actually make money on the internet. So what I ended up doing and what I became very good at was building huge downline groups and downline teams and bringing people together and kind of organizing people into something tangible on the internet. And as a lot of people probably know, it's very frustrating when things don't work out. So after countless attempts really at leading these groups into various opportunities, I realized that that most of these I call them so-called opportunities, weren't really designed or structured to be around for very long. We were kind of jumping into these temporary opportunities, right? And so there was lots of situations where you have to quit and start again at square one, right? So I got kind of tired of all the frustration, and I decided to, again, kind of take a leadership role and build my own opportunities to build these groups into, these thousands of people looking for the opportunity, right? And in doing that, there was, again, lots of frustration in trying to find reliable programmers and people to, outsource things to. And because of that, I decided that I had to learn how to program stuff myself. So I dove headfirst into programming, and I started building opportunity websites and income opportunities online. And I built one that has products and training that would be attractive to anyone that did any kind of marketing online. And that site in particular, which I've operated since we launched back in 2005. I know you mentioned Lead Skimmer, but this is way back in 2005. And since then, it's generated like millions of dollars in revenue, millions of dollars in affiliate commissions that we paid out, and I think we're over 140,000 members right now. So, and again, on top of that site, at the beginning of this year, I launched the front-end funnel Lead Skimmer, which has been very successful as well. It's currently generating upwards of 2,000 leads per day. Basically, that sort of brings you up to date of where I am right now.
Some accomplishment, that, Geoff, for what you've done with your time.
What's that?
That's some accomplishment for what you've done with your time.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was a case of kind of obsessing myself with this whole industry, and again, jumping in head first and just really working my ass off, basically, and putting all these things together.
Awesome. So what accomplishments are you most proud of up to date, Geoff?
Accomplishments I'm most proud of? Probably the fact that I've been able to create and maintain a very good income for myself on a very constant and consistent basis, month after month, year after year, for a lot of years now, which is something that a lot of people aren't able to do on the internet, right? What I do is not dependent on sort of the routine that you see out there of creating a product and then building up a big launch for that product and then hopefully making a bunch of money for that product and then kind of going away for a while until the next product launch, right? I mean, the reason I got into this whole business was because you can create that passive income stream that everyone kind of talks about, right? So my focus has always been on creating that passive income stream and building on that, over and above any other kind of selling or marketing. So I guess the accomplishment is building a business online where I don't have to worry about where or when the next sale is coming, right? Because it's not based on one-time sales. That makes sense?
That's a really good accomplishment. To be able to give yourself financial freedom through the fact that you've worked so hard is a massive accomplishment towards your life. So next question, Geoff.
Yeah.
What skills and talents are required for success in building a business online?
Skills and talents. Well, essentially, like what I teach people is based on the fact there are essentially 4 kind of skill sets that you need to get good at, 4 how-tos that you need to get good at in order to make a significant income online. And the 4 things are basically these. Number 1 is how to generate traffic. Number 2 is how to generate leads. Number 3 is how to convert your leads into sales or distributors, depending on what you're doing. And number 4 would be how to follow up and retain your customers and use your list as leverage to generate more business for yourself. So there's 4 basic how-tos. I mean, there's a lot more detail involved in each one, but those are the basic things that you need to know, the basic foundation behind internet marketing. And it's interesting, of those 4 steps, Step number 1 and 2, which is how to generate traffic and how to generate leads, are basically, if you look around out there, they're inundated with training products and systems. Everyone seems to be focusing on step 1 and step 2, traffic and leads, right? Getting traffic, getting leads. And then step 3 and 4 are either ignored or just kind of disregarded by the masses of people doing this. You've got people generating traffic, people generating leads, but then you get into the conversion of leads and the follow-up, right? It's kind of odd because that's where you're going to make your money, right? So when everyone is crawling over each other trying to find out the best way to generate traffic and leads, the ones that are actually making the money are the people that have focused on converting leads, making the sales, and then mastering the branding and the follow-up, which creates repeat customers. And it also creates a list of quality leads that you can use as leverage to generate more business for yourself, right? So if you narrow it down, that's basically how internet marketing works. Traffic, leads, conversions, and follow-up.
You couldn't have put it any better, any better. Most people do forget to follow up with the people, and that's the main bit where you get the business, from talking to people. You might get 1,000 leads, but out of them 1,000 leads, unless you're a super copywriter, you ain't going to convert anyone into profit.
That's right. I talk to people every day who can tell me, oh, I generate 40 or 50 leads a day. It's like, well, great. How much money are you making? And they're like, well, not that much, but I can generate 40 to 50 leads per day. But, who cares? If you can't do the 4 steps and follow those 4 steps all the way through, then it doesn't really matter how much traffic and leads that you can actually generate.
It's true. Very true, Geoff. Very true. So next question. If you could do anything differently, I'm not saying you would or you would want to, and you could start again, what would you like to change in your business?
If I could do anything differently, what I would probably do is what I recommend, one of the things I recommend people do now, which is modeling yourself and your business after someone else in your industry who is like a step up from you on the success ladder. What I mean is finding someone in your industry, in your section of the industry, that is making slightly more money than you are, and not someone that's making millions of dollars if you're not making much money, right? Someone that's a bit more experienced than you, kind of like one step up from you, and then find out what they did to get as far as they've gotten, and then do what they did. It's real simple, but people seem to try to find their own way, and it doesn't work out, right? What you want to do is find someone who's a little bit more successful than you, and then copy what they do, or at least take what they do as far as their processes and what they do in their methodology and use it in your own marketing, right? Because what I did back in the beginning was try to find the latest angle or loophole, right? Some secret magic method that I thought I could, run with, and there's nothing magic about it. But back then I didn't model myself after anyone, right? I wanted to be myself. I wanted to do it all my own. And that's probably what I would do differently if I could go back. Otherwise, what I would do differently on a more personal level, smaller level, would be to focus methodically on mastering those 4 steps that I mentioned before. Because that's honestly what it all comes down to, right? Which is keeping it simple and not overcomplicating things.
You should really keep a lot of mentors in hand. People, like you said, that have more money than you are people that you want to model. And I've seen this with Tony Robbins and all the top leaders, business leaders. They always say to model people that you want the results from.
Yeah, but I wouldn't suggest modeling yourself after someone that is way more successful than you. You know what I mean? Only because they're just on a different level, different lifestyle, different everything. You want to work your way up and go through people that are just slightly more successful than you, so you can get to that next level and get to that next level and work your way up.
True, that's a good valid point. You don't want it to go to where I was just making an example of Tony Robbins' mindset business training that he says, model people that you want to become and make sure that you follow them and leave. They always leave clues. Success leaves clues. If you follow the clues, you'll get success.
Sure, absolutely.
So next question, Geoff. When did you realize you may have broke through on what you were doing?
My breakthrough. I think my breakthrough, was when I stopped. Sounds kind of funny, but when I stopped selling products on the internet, um, my entire business shifted in a positive way when I stopped focusing on selling products that I thought people wanted and started positioning myself as a provider of solutions for people. Okay, so it's the difference between selling products and selling yourself, basically. So after I started providing value based on my own skills and experience, I found it a heck of a lot easier to recommend products to people that already knew what I was all about, right? And it comes down to something I tell most of my affiliates is that basically sell yourself and then recommend, right? As opposed to just go out and try to sell some products. Put yourself first in the sales process. It's a lot easier to make sales when all you have to do is recommend it to somebody.
Good advice. Good advice. Very good advice, because if you create your own product, you're actually a brand of yourself then instead of someone else, because people don't realize the products that you're then selling, you're not really getting you any recognition. It's getting the person to buying the products off recognition.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Awesome. So what did you do differently to get these results? Was it create your own brand? Did you think?
Yeah, really. It was just sort of building myself up and positioning myself as a trusted source of information, right? I mean, what I found is that, you probably heard this before, is that people don't join businesses, people don't join opportunities, people join other people, right? They have to be sold on who they're buying the products from first before they actually buy the product, especially in these days of Facebook, and everybody's face is out there, everyone's name is out there, and we're sharing all our information, so people look to the other person first as opposed to the product. So I think, what I did was really put myself out there and position myself again as a source of information.
Cool. So last question, Geoff, because I know we're both busy and we've both got things to do with the businesses. What 3 things would you tell people to do today, or 4 things, or anything you want to give people that they can actually go away now, write down, and take away and start doing in the business themselves?
I don't know. I think it's really important that you're organized. I mean, setting realistic short-term goals for yourself and really focusing on one thing at a time. This is another problem that I had back in the beginning, right? You try to be an expert in everything. So, don't try to be the SEO expert one week and then decide next week you're going to be the king or queen of Facebook advertising. Right? Most successful people are basically good at a couple things or a few things. So I guess, focus on one thing at a time, be methodical with it, and be consistent. Set goals, set out tasks to help you accomplish your goals. Don't just wing it, because you're going to waste your time and just get frustrated. Honestly, simplicity is where it's at in internet marketing. Don't overcomplicate things. You just have to kind of keep it simple, one thing at a time, and just do it, right? And again, find yourself to, find a mentor, find someone to model yourself after, or find someone that will coach you and tell you what the steps could be to get you on the right track in your situation. And,
Cool. So,
and work hard, because it's not easy.
I was just about to say, and most of all, work hard, because people don't realize, they see all these people like that I'm interviewing, and they don't realize that how much work they have to put in to build a business brand. They really don't.
Yeah, it's a ton of work. It really is. But if you love it, which I do, it's a lot easier to do. But what I will say is that internet marketing is simple, but it's not easy. Like the actual processes that we do, the things that we do throughout the day. We write emails, we write ads, we write ad copy, we place ads, we talk to people. It's simple stuff, right? But it's not easy to be really successful at it, because you have to know, the different nuances and the different skills that go along with it, and you have to do a lot of it to be very successful. So although it's simple, it's not, it's not easy.
Definitely not easy. That's what people say to me, Mike, what can I do now that's easier? And I say, for the first thing that you need to learn, and I'll teach you now, it isn't easy. And it isn't a little amount of work. These people that say 2 hours a day are lying to you. You can do 2 hours a day, but it's going to take you about 3 years to even get noticed on the internet.
True. Yeah. 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day isn't going to get you much, even if you know what you're doing. It's a very methodical, systematic thing is internet marketing. So you have to do a lot of it to get to a better place in the industry.
Definitely do. So Geoff, tell everyone that you want about the information you want to give out to people over the conference. I will put this link on my blog with this interview so that people can reference back to it. But yeah, thank you very much for taking your time out. I know you're a busy man.
Yeah, you're welcome. My pleasure.
So yeah, tell everyone about the website you want me to promote now, Geoff, and I'll move myself out the call.
All right. Well, the site I was talking about that I launched back in 2005, which is basically a suite of internet marketing tools and training that has gone through, as I said, over 140,000 members. Very successful. That I programmed all myself. All the programming was done by me, and the site is called Global NPN, which is global GLOBALNPN.com. You can go check that out. That's sort of what I do mostly on the internet, and leadskimmer.com, which is the marketing front end of that website, which honestly is probably, out of all the years I've been doing this, is probably the highest converting site that I've ever created, as far as taking traffic, converting it into leads onto your list, and making money with those leads. So those are the sites that I would promote. Check them out. Let me know what you think if you want. And that's about it.
Thank you very much, Geoff. And again, thank you. I'll put this on my blog. I'll send the link over. And do you want the Lead Skimmer link, or do you want both of them on? The Global NPN one.
Global NPN is kind of the main one.
Cool. I'll put that one on, and I'll send it back to you. And anyone that asks me any questions on it, I'll send them over to you on Facebook, my friend.
Great. That sounds great.
Well, yeah, thank you very much, Geoff, and look forward to getting to know you more.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, Geoff. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Again, that was another successful call, and I just want to thank Geoff for turning up and giving you guys some more insight to making millions on the internet. It's very hard work. People should know that. It's going to take you a long, long time to get to where you need to be. You're going to need to work hard. You're going to need to have a business plan. You're going to need to set goals, and you're going to need to achieve things that you've never thought possible before. This is all I'm going to do for today. Tomorrow I've got another interview, another special guest. It'll be on at 5 p.m. GMT time, which is London time. If you want to tune in, please be my guest. Come and tune in to us. We've got about 300 or 400 callers on now. And other than that, I thank you again for listening if you listen to it on the blog or on YouTube. But thank you very much for listening. I'll see you at the top.